Go.
This is the Idiot Entrepreneur Podcast with
John
and Kelley,
where no one is smarter than you.
We're all just a bunch of idiots figuring out business and life one day at a time.
What's up, idiots?
What's up, dummies?
That is our intro, guys.
Yeah. So how you doing, John?
I'm doing well today. It's been a quiet day in the city here, as New York City, that is, if you guys aren't aware yet. It's been a quiet day. We got our workouts in, enjoying the no traffic around here.
Okay.
Yeah. Just got some work done today. Made some good food. Just enjoying our time.
Good for you.
How about you?
Yeah, pretty good. Have to pee about every 5 minutes.
Oh man.
Sounds TMI, like I guess. No. We have to. If you guys didn't hear in the previous podcast, we're doing a challenge called 75 Hard, which is a shout out to the MF CEO Andy Frisella. But we have to drink a gallon of water every single day. And if you screw up and you don't start drinking your water pretty early, it's honestly a nightmare, and you have to pee like every
2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. And if you mess up, you got to start over, which is even worse.
Yep, but we're going strong. Haven't had to start over yet, so.
Yeah, and we only have 3 weeks left.
Yeah, just less than 3 weeks.
Yeah, less than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and we plan on doing a second one right after this, right after my birthday.
Yep, had to throw in your birthday there, didn't you?
Yeah, the plug.
In case anybody wants to send a gift.
Yeah, if there's anybody listening to this podcast.
Yeah, probably not.
All right. Okay, cool. So we're going to get started, guys. So just to define what is idiot entrepreneur, it represents one thing, that no one is smarter than you.
It's actually not entirely true. There are definitely people smarter than you.
That's a good point.
And especially you. Especially you.
Yeah.
Not me, but you.
Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, the moment you realize that no one is smarter than you, your whole perspective on the world changes 1,000,000%. And we truly believe that, without a doubt. Our point is we want to remind you of this every single day. And you will hear this from us every single day. Everything will change once you realize that fact.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, we named the podcast Idiot Entrepreneur, kind of a satirical way. But because, like John said, no one is smarter than you. There's 1 million people out there who've made millions of dollars, who've built businesses, who are dumber than rocks. And even if you're not dumb, you don't have to be a genius. It's basically, we all feel stupid when we first start. We all feel stupid even when we've been in business for a while. But at the end of the day, we're all the same. We're all idiots. And it's just a matter of how much work you're willing to put in, which is going to differentiate you from everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you really think about exactly what Kelley was saying is, we all started somewhere. We all started very naive, very amateur. In many ways, even after many years, you're still an amateur, because if you're doing it right, you should always be learning, which means you're kind of still an idiot. And it keeps you humble.
Yeah, there's always more to learn, no matter how expert, quote unquote, you become. There's always more to learn.
Yeah, at least if you're doing it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think think about your favorite entrepreneurs, the people that inspire you, the people that you look up to. Just Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, to name a few of many. They were all idiots at one point. We don't think of them as idiots now, but back in the day, when they're in their garage building a computer, or they have a tiny office with a handwritten sign on the door, like, they're idiots, right? They didn't know what they were doing. And I guarantee you, because of the kinds of people that they are, they would all probably still claim to be idiots, because they're lifelong learners. And they never feel like they're perfect at what they do. But, I think it just makes it more relatable. They're not special. They're not people who were able to do something that you couldn't do yourself. It's just a matter of, what am I trying to say? Putting in the work, right?
Yeah, putting in the time and effort. and the work.
And just being a constant student of what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and also like self-reflection of how can you always do things better, because the truth is you can always do everything in some way, shape, or form better.
Yeah, and we just want to make the point too, that being smart and being successful are not
Yeah.
mutually exclusive at all. So, just because someone might be successful does not mean they're smart. Certainly not smarter than you. And really, there's nothing anybody does that you couldn't do yourself. Really, I mean, and it's really true when you really start to realize that. Like John said, it's pretty unbelievable because you realize that you're capable of anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's 100% true. Um, Anything's possible, guys, and that's the point here. Is that we're all idiots in this lifelong process of learning, making mistakes, and just putting one foot in front of the other every single day in an effort to advance in life and business. So it just we're all very humbling. It's very humbling to realize that you're an idiot.
That it is.
When you
Yes.
put it all into perspective, I mean, we're pretty feeble. Human beings are pretty feeble, and it's humbling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what's the purpose of the show?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked.
No, I'm sure you are. Why don't you tell everybody?
Okay. All right. So the purpose of the show is to give you guys the tools you need to succeed. That's at the very, very basic level, with a focus on the power of the mind. A lot of the things that we're going to talk about in future episodes involve a lot of mindset, because that's what you really need to be successful at the end of the day. Is you got to have your mind. Your mind has to be on point. So a lot of what we talk about is giving you just the tools that you need for success, real life tactical advice to build a kick-ass business and life. And I think that's the purpose of this show.
But it is going to be a heavy mindset because, everybody wants tactical. Everybody wants the blueprint.
Yeah.
How do I do this? What do I need to do next?
And it's not always black and white.
Well, not only is it not black and white, but it's also, if you don't have the right mindset, fuck all the tactics because it's not going to mean shit.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to implement them, or whatever you do is not going to be sustainable if you don't have the right mindset. So, I mean, in my opinion, business and life in general, but business especially, is probably 85% mindset.
Yeah.
I'm not good at math. 15%. Is that wrong? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, whatever. Some percentage of tactical, but in hard work. But the rest is mindset. It's almost all mindset. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I agree. That's 100% true. So success is the purpose of this show. So why are we spending time doing this? Kelley, would you like to answer that question?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, why are we doing this? It takes time, money.
You know what? Yeah. So, I mean, why are we doing this? Because to give value, right? We've amassed a true wealth of knowledge in the handful of years that we've been in business, and really, really focusing on mindset and learning, and we want to give back. We want to help other people, because you really start to realize the further you get in, how valuable it is to have mentors and to have those people, even if they're not a mentor that you talk to directly, right? But just, people, authors, and, people who've written books or podcasts, things like that. It's invaluable, really, the amount of knowledge that you can benefit from. And so we just want to provide some of that knowledge because, going back in time, it would be so nice if you're starting all over to have this knowledge to use and to be able to, spend less time failing and spend less time screwing up and just get to the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to summarize that, is the purpose is to give value.
So you didn't like what I said?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Rewrite all of that.
All right.
So the purpose is to give value, is because really what at the end of the day that really matters to your customers or clients is one thing, and it's value. What are they getting out of the product or service that you have that provides something unique, something that means something to them, which is ultimately value. Um, yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing this podcast about 2 times per week.
Not about, like,
Yeah,
actually.
actually, yeah, no, you're right. Twice per week. Yeah, we'll be doing it twice per week. Good point there.
Yeah, we'll post episodes on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yep.
We're going to discuss a lot of different topics. Like we said, mindset. That's probably our number one topic. Different business topics, tactical advice, trends. What did you mean by that, John? Latest fashion trends?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that sweatshirt you're wearing?
Yeah, by the hoodie I'm wearing right now from my college years,
Uh-huh.
from
From
15 years ago.
1922.
Yeah.
Okay, so fashion trends, definitely.
Definitely fashion trends.
Yeah.
What I meant by trends is, what's going on now in the world and how does it apply to life and business and stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
that's good.
Yeah.
Team building, motivation, advice, just general advice, but mainly featured around business. Life, a little bit of life stuff, right?
Yeah, just general life. I mean, who doesn't want to talk about life?
I don't know. So a wide variety of topics, but it's all going to be kind of anchored around business, entrepreneurship, and kind of if you're familiar with MFCEO, which if you're not, we would recommend that you become familiar because it's not a current podcast. Actually, it's over, but it's an amazing podcast. So we take a lot of inspiration from there and kind of that mindset, but I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, so basically we take a lot of those. When we first start entrepreneurship.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just remember. Sorry.
Right,
yeah. So if you're not an entrepreneur, that doesn't matter, right? This isn't a show just for entrepreneurs.
Right.
If you work for someone, you could be an intrapreneur, right? Yeah. You can still improve yourself and improve your life with these same kinds of tactics and mindset, even if you don't run your own business. That's what I was trying to say. Boom.
There you go. Get a mental lapse there.
Yeah. It's late.
That's all right. All right. We're back into it. All right. So basically we're going to talk about whatever we think is appropriate or want to talk about that's relevant. That sums up everything.
Whatever we want. Okay.
All right. So why should you care or listen to us? So Kelley and I started a business here in New York City, commercial cleaning business called Spotless. Here in Manhattan about 4 years ago. We were both working full-time jobs, and we both went from living a comfortable lifestyle to jumping into entrepreneurship and just learning a lot. Both feed in and learning as we go, and we built a great business that's continuing to grow and is successful and employs a lot of people. We're all over New York City and growing. A lot of value to give to our listeners.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, so we started it out as a side hustle. It was just something that we were doing to make extra money, but quickly grew and grew and grew and just became sort of not manageable anymore as a side hustle. And so I quit my job first, and then John ended up quitting his job, and we took it on full time. And we're fortunate enough to be able to do so. But the reason that we even bother to tell you that is not to brag or not to say that we're cool. Right. And you probably weren't impressed anyways. But essentially, we have spent the past almost 5 years just amassing so much knowledge. Yeah. We read all the time, tons of business books. Podcasts. Yeah. We're consuming knowledge at just a rapid rate because we want to collapse that time that it takes for us to reach our ultimate goals. Yeah. And so we're constantly consuming all sorts of knowledge, also trial and error. I mean, we've screwed up so many times. It's not even funny. Yeah. But
write a book on that.
Yeah. I mean, because of that, we have a lot that we could share, especially to people that are newer to business or just getting started, or maybe you've been in business for a while, but you've never really taken the time to learn more about what you do or how you could improve or how you could grow. And so, we've fucked up a lot of times, and you can benefit from that, right? Oh, yeah. Benefit from other people's failures, right? So we'll share those things that we've done that were stupid, and that'll, hopefully help you not make those same mistakes, but also learn and grow from it as well.
Exactly. I mean, that's what keeps us motivated is being able to bring value to our listeners, the people who are listening to this podcast. And if you get one thing out of every episode, then you can deem that a win, 100%. If you learn just one thing.
Yeah, I feel like that almost
Yeah.
every I mean, books you're going to get a lot of stuff out of, but
Right.
podcasts are relatively short. I would say almost every episode that I listen to, regardless of which podcast it
Yeah.
is, I pull at least one thing out of there that I'm like, okay, I'm glad that I listened to that.
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully we can provide that for you.
Yeah, that's the goal. All right. So next topic is, so we give you guys a brief outline of what we're about, just so you guys have a good foundation. We're going to jump into what we call FUD, FUD. So FUD, what does that stand for? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Those are three things in life three factors that will limit you in life. And we want to talk about that today because that's applicable, especially now with the virus that's going on, and also just in business in a big way, and in life too, of course. So it's very applicable, and we think it's a broad enough topic to discuss, and we think you'll benefit a lot from what we have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to get started on that one, or should I?
Yeah, no. So what is F in FUD?
Fear.
Fear, yes, fear. So, fear is an extremely powerful emotion. It's probably the most powerful emotion, and it can really control you if you let it.
Very true.
Especially in business, and pertaining to the current situation, there's a lot of fear that businesses are facing. What do I do? How do I pay people? Or am I going to be able to stay in business? Are all my clients going to leave?
Can I make payroll?
Yeah. I mean, a ton of different things and things that, we've experienced some of this too. But you just can't let that fear control you. You are always going to make the wrong decisions when you're making a fear-based decision. Don't ever act based on emotion. You have to act based on logic. And fear is one of those emotions that'll steer you wrong every single time.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, how do you face fear? It basically comes down to practice. By first identifying your fears one by one and taking gradual steps to conquer your fear. For example, a common one that I think a lot of people have, that I've had myself, is like public speaking.
Dark.
Oh. Well, yeah, the dark too. Yeah, I mean, I still haven't gotten over that fear. Yeah, yeah, I still sleep with a nightlight on, FYI.
Weird.
Yeah. No, but seriously, public speaking is one of them. I remember always when, and it was in high school, a long time ago, in high school, having to stand up in front of the class and say a speech in speech class. And man, my palms would be sweaty. I'd be sweating profusely. I'd be jittery and nervous. I would dread it for fucking weeks, like literally ahead of time before I know I had to give a speech. And now, I mean, over time, I realized, oh man, this is really irrational. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, why am I afraid of speaking in front of other people when you have no reason to get afraid? It's irrational fear that doesn't make any sense. It's not warranted, but it's also natural in the sense that it's very, very common. And people have a fear perception of being perceived wrong. So over time, I got over that fear, just faced it and said, who cares if you make a mistake in front of other people? And then, most people don't give a fuck don't care about what you're thinking, or don't even know what you're thinking. When you realize that too, a lot of things change.
Yeah. I mean, I would also like to say that, fear is actually a good thing. You should be glad if you're scared, because if you're scared, it means you're pushing yourself outside of your limits.
Yeah.
Unless you're just scared of everything, I guess. But I guess in that case, you still are anyways. Yeah, but if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. And that's just a fact. Like, you should be uncomfortable every single day in some way, shape, or form. You should be doing something every day that makes you uncomfortable, because that's how you're going to grow and improve and get to that next level. And so you should embrace fear and say, you know what, I'm scared, but this is a good thing because I'm pushing myself.
Yeah.
And just know that once you dive in and do it, it's going to real quick become less scary, and you're going to look back and you're just going to laugh like, oh, wow, remember when I was scared of that?
Yeah.
We used to be terrified of doing walkthroughs
Oh
for
yeah.
cleaning. It's like you go and you meet with a client and you walk through their space and decide, what service they need, how long it's going to take, all that sort of thing. And, we used to be terrified of doing it, get so, so nervous. And now it's like, I don't even think twice
Yeah.
about doing one. It's nothing. It's like the
Yeah.
easiest thing ever. So it's just, you got to
Practice.
push yourself, embrace fear, jump in, try it. And very, very quickly, the sooner you jump in, the sooner you'll get over that fear. And it's just going to become the norm.
Bingo. So practice makes perfect. Face your fears. Don't let fear control you. You can control fear.
All right. So what is you in
FUD?
FUD
Is uncertainty. So this is a very common one, and I believe this ties hand in hand with anxiety. So when you're uncertain about, it could be anything. It could be uncertain of, for a lot of people right now, it's how am I gonna obtain money to pay rent, or how am I gonna obtain money to pay my employees? How am I gonna do X, Y, or Z? And when you're uncertain of something, that creates a feeling of anxiety. Um, and that can be just generalized anxiety. Some people just worried all the time, or uncertain about everything. It's really important to understand this concept because it ties directly with your personal life and in business, especially business, because almost everything in business there's going to be a lot of elements of uncertainty for sure. For example, you don't know where you're going to be, if you're even going to be in business 1 year from now, or let alone 5 years from now, or are you going to grow? Are you going to sink? Are you going to make it through the really tough times? Or, are you going to increase your revenue? Is your revenue going to decrease? Are you going to go out of business? There's a million things, a million factors of uncertainty that you really don't know. And that can keep you worried. The key really is to getting comfortable with it by taking steps to control, to the best of your ability, the factors that are uncertain. For example, let's say you're making $50,000 this year. You want to make $100,000. How do you do that? There's an element of uncertainty. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm able to. So the way to do it is take steps to increase your revenue so you can pay yourself more. That's just a simple example, right? What would you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think uncertainty is any energy focused on uncertainty is wasted energy.
Yeah.
Honestly, because everything's uncertain. Nobody knows anything, right? Again, we're all a bunch of idiots in all ways.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, in the next hour, and this and that. And putting energy towards uncertainty is useless, right? So focus your energy on what you can change, what you can affect. Like John said, I guess, if you want to make more money, focus on
resources and steps on how to make more money. Do more work, put in more time, put in more effort.
But focusing on the uncertainty itself, I am not making enough. What if this, what if that, is absolutely useless. It's not going to get you anywhere. And you should spend more time on actionable things. What can you do? Yep. What can you improve? What can you change? Not things that you can't change, or, the unknown. Because the unknown, if you focus on the unknown, the bad things you think about, they could end up happening because you're focusing on it, right? Where your energy flows, how does it go? Where your intention goes, your energy flows.
No, that's not it.
Fuck, I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is, if you focus your attention on something, all your energy on something, that's where you're going to run into. For example, you're driving a car and, you start kind of looking off to the right, your car is going to veer off to the right? Because you're focusing on that. So, just don't focus on uncertainty. I know it's easier said than done. We'll talk about tactics later on to not focus on that. But just the kind of quick and easy is not to pay attention to those things that you can't change, or those things that you are unsure about, because that's useless.
Exactly. So control the factors that you can control. That's it.
Yeah, nothing else.
Nothing else. Because the rest will fall into place and the rest will follow. So the last part is D, which in FUD is doubt. So we have fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So doubt's a big one. Doubt is a dream killer. It will kill your dreams. Do not let doubt control your decision making. I'm 1,000% certain that doubting any endeavor will always lead to never taking action. So if you doubt that you can start a business in 6 months, it's never gonna happen. If you doubt that you're gonna be a billionaire, it's never gonna happen. If you doubt you're gonna be a millionaire, it's never gonna happen. Because you're inherently accepting loss by doubting something. And that could be anything. You could be doubting weight loss. You're like saying, fuck, I can't lose 50 pounds. I doubt I'll ever be able to lose that. How many times do you hear that from people? I doubt I can lose 20 pounds. I don't think I'm going to lose 10 pounds. And if you automatically accept that by doubting a certain thing, you're guaranteed you'll never achieve it. That's 1,000% true.
Well, what is doubt based on? Doubt is usually just based on stories that you tell yourself, or sort of stories that other people told you about yourself that are ingrained in your mind. If John always grew up with his parents saying, "Oh, you're just big boned. You're never going to be really thin." I'm not saying this happened, but
what are you trying to say?
No, but then he's going to always think, I can't lose weight. I can't this, because his story is, oh, I'm big boned. I can't lose weight, because that's what he was told. So, do you like that example?
I do.
I don't know why that came to my mind, but it's just, doubt is based on bullshit. It's nothing, right? Yeah. It's just made up. And you could just as easily have confidence in yourself and believe in yourself as you could doubt. The mind is a very, tricky little thing, and it always tends to go to the negative, but you can just as easily flip it to the positive. Don't doubt what you're going to do. Have confidence in it. Even if you don't actually have confidence, fake your confidence, right? Yeah. Fake it till you make it. If you don't think, maybe you don't truly feel like you are going to wind up being a millionaire, but if you tell yourself that every single day, chances are you'll get pretty close.
Yeah, exactly. Just by the simple belief alone. Doubt is a comfort word for people who take no action. That's 100% true. I want to make that point. And also, doubt and confidence are directly linked, especially unfounded doubt. So, so if you have unfounded doubt, you inherently believe that, I don't know, you doubt that you'll ever, I don't know, have a baseball collection.
Wait, what? A baseball collection?
Well, that's maybe not an example.
Say that you doubt you'll run a marathon.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. Yeah, you doubt you'll ever be able to run a marathon. If you, that's just this confidence thing that says that you have no confidence or belief that you actually can achieve that.
Well, it's a lot easier to say, I doubt I will. Anyways, now I won't do anything, right? Because it's easier. Like John said, it's comforting for a lot of people to not take action, because you don't have to put yourself out there and experience that fear and uncertainty, right? Because if you're always comfortable and you're never doing anything different, then you don't have to experience those uncomfortable things. So it's easy to just say, I doubt I'll ever do that, or I doubt I can do that, and then move on to something else.
Yeah, commonly people say, I doubt it. Just that phrase, those 3 words, I doubt it. And that just that's a dream killer. So that leads into, how do you conquer doubt? The first step is pretty obvious, is stop doubting yourself. That's very, very obvious to me. Whenever you say the word doubt, reverse it and flip it and say, oh, I can do that. Not I doubt I can do that. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
All right. Realize your triggers that cause doubt and squash them. If your trigger is linked to, for example, fear, doubt links to fear. You fear, swimming in the deep end side of the pool. If you doubt that you can actually swim in that side of the pool because it's too deep, the reality is that you can, by telling yourself that that's not true. I'm going to squish the concept of doubt in my mind.
And then drown.
And then drown slowly. Yeah.
No, you should probably maybe take swimming lessons if you really don't think you can. But
yeah, exactly.
No, but doubt is this is directly tied into the name of the podcast, right? Which is the reason why we have this as the last point. Being an idiot, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you're new to something, you're gonna feel stupid. You're gonna feel like an idiot, and you're gonna doubt yourself, probably, right? You're gonna think, "Oh man, like all these other people are doing this. Look at them. Look at them." And I don't think I can do that. I don't know if I could ever get there, do that, this, that, and the other. And it's just not true. That's just the long and short of it.
Yeah.
That if you think that someone is smarter than you, you're wrong. They just are more experienced than you. They put in more time than you, maybe put in more effort than you, but certainly not smarter than you. So don't doubt yourself. It's useless.
Yeah, they've made more mistakes than you, which someone who makes a lot of mistakes is experienced, and that's really what someone who's doesn't doubt themselves, doesn't have uncertainty, doesn't have irrational fear. So it's just literally it's experience and over time. And that's what that is. If you can control FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, you'll propel yourself, I would say, years ahead in terms of success, both in your personal life and business life. If just by controlling those three factors: fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yeah, those are just three default human emotions, and so kill those and win your life.
Yeah. Propel yourself by 10 years, at least. So those are the main points of this for this podcast. We don't want to keep talking too long.
But before we go, we do want to share our idiot fact of the day. Okay, and
so every show we're going to have an idiot fact of the day at the very end of the podcast.
Yes. So the idiot fact of the day that I've procured is this. In 1993, the entire city of San Francisco voted about whether or not a police officer was allowed to carry a ventriloquist dummy called Brendan O'Smarty while on patrol. And ultimately, they voted, yes, he can. So that is our idiot fact of the day. If that guy isn't an idiot, I don't know who is. So, I mean,
this is a police officer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So again, we're all idiots.
We're
right?
all idiots. I mean, it's funny because when you look at that, that's actually a real fact too, by the way. And when you look at that, you laugh at it. We're all idiots in this world.
Mm-hmm.
On the quest to not being as much of an idiot, but you'll always still be some level of an idiot.
Yeah, you're always going to be an idiot because there's always more that you can learn about anything and everything. So embrace being an idiot and always seek out knowledge and self-improvement.
Yep. And until then, keep on chugging.
All right. See you later, idiots.
See you guys. Until
Thank
the
you.
next time, idiots. Bye.
Bye-bye.